kids. I have a feeling they ran into some weather, and I think it was a little bit longer than expected, but that happens when you're going across the mountains sometimes in our conference. So it's probably nice that they don't have books to worry about. Now they can just kind of hang out with their friends and play basketball and not worry about anything else. So with that being said, they were on the road. They're on the road this weekend. They go to Western Colorado up in Gunnison on Saturday. Those games are at 5 and 7, so go to GoRockers.com and you can watch those online. And then the following weekend, the 13th and 14th, we're at home. And so that'll be our first home games of the 2023 New Year. So with that being said, I'm just going to let the coaches and the kids come up and talk about this last weekend and what they have to look forward to.
All right, Happy New Year. We had a short, quick Christmas break, and thankfully I think we're some of the only teams in probably the country that didn't get stuck with travel issues and planes and stuff like that. We were lucky to get everybody back when they were supposed to be back safely. Marie mentioned our road trip this last weekend. We had some weather, which happens, it's winter. We live in the West, go through mountain passes. But our bus driver did a great job of keeping us safe, and we showed up all in one piece, and we're able to compete in 2 games this last weekend. Maria also mentioned Piper had a really great weekend. This is why I brought Megan, because Megan is a big reason why Piper was able to have those open shots. And then before I get too much into basketball and Megan, I just want to wrap up, our first semester in the classroom. We got our grades back and we were at around a 3.36 team average GPA, which is pretty awesome. Especially with, is there 7 of you? I can never remember. There's too many of them for freshmen. Especially having so many new faces and, getting the hang of classes and exams and kind of the way the semester started out with some of them. They were pretty big-eyed after their first exams, but everybody did a really great job for the semester, so we're really proud of our work in the classroom. This last weekend, one of the things we really talked about with our team is our shooting percentage needs to go up in that shot selection. A big part that we have to do, and we've kind of been emphasizing it all year, is getting it into the post. And Megan is a freshman post player for us from Wisconsin, and she has grown so much since she set foot on campus, and that's just a testament to who she is and her personality and her character. The beginning of the year, we challenged her with a bunch of stuff. She surprised Coach Sy and I one day because we were telling her all these different details, and she's like, "No, I love it. I've never had post coaching or post workout before. Like, this is so awesome." And so we're like, geez, we've got a lot of work to do then. But Megan has taken it and really ran with it. You guys can see that in our recent games. She's having a lot of success. And like I said, it's her getting in the gym extra, buying into everything that we're telling her, and she's just really doing a great job for us. One of my favorite things when we were recruiting Megan, so normally we recruit kids that maybe have never failed a test or anything like that. And I remember talking to Megan, and we kind of changed our approach with our recruiting this freshman class, and one of the things I asked her was, have you ever failed an exam? Have you ever failed anything? And she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, all right, never mind, we're good. You're gonna be resilient, you're gonna be just fine. And so that's just kind of her personality, nothing really bothers her or rattles her too much. She takes it in stride and then she just attacks it. So with that, I'm gonna kind of let her talk a little bit about herself, where she's from, her major, and kind of her experience at Mine so far.
Like Coach said, I'm a freshman. I'm from Freedom, Wisconsin. It's a small town by Green Bay. I mean, I can go in high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. I played golf, basketball, and then I also threw for the track and field team, shot put and discus. I found quite a bit of success in high school athletics. It really pushed me to do better because I wanted to do the best that I could be. Whenever I did anything, I used to play volleyball, and I was like, screw that, play golf. So I played volleyball for the first 2 years of high school, then I switched to golf. And now I'm actually also on the golf team here at Mines. So really getting the full experience. Let's see. Major, chemical engineer. I want to be a chemical engineer, I should say. I I picked that pretty much because I like chemistry and math. And I was like, those two go together. It's like chemical engineering. I like it so far. We'll see how that ends up. I have a lot of time left. But besides that, yeah, it's a little bit about me. I chose mines because it's one of the top engineering institutions in the country. I knew I always wanted to be an engineer, just kind of based on how I think and how my brain works. And obviously basketball, I want to play basketball. These awesome coaches gave me the opportunity. I had to say yes. See, I've really enjoyed making a lot of new friends here. I'm pretty outgoing, so I like to just talk and hang out with my team. See, one of my favorite memories. Over Labor Day weekend, a lot of the team went home because they live close, but I live 12 hours away, so that wasn't really possible. So we went camping off like a old forest road in the hills, and I was with one of my friends, Lauren. She's also a freshman on the team. We were driving, and all of a sudden there was these two bulls that like started fighting. They almost hit our car. It was kind of wild. And then we were camping through the night. You could like hear them moving when we were sleeping. It was kind of freaky because they had big horns. But
Elaborate on some of the success.
high school athletics, they were interesting. I had to work for everything, especially basketball. There was always post players ahead of me in high school, so I just kind of wanted to make the most of the minutes I was given, and I think I did that. But it was a struggle sometimes. And then we went to the state tournament twice through my 4 years for basketball. My freshman year, we lost in the semifinals, and then my senior year, we lost in the state championship. We were runner-up. But it was still a really awesome experience. And then in golf, we were the first girls golf team to win a conference championship, and we qualified for the state tournament twice. I was the 3 player on the team, so I really improved. I just started golfing like 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I really put in the work in the summer, made varsity as the 3, and then we were able to go to the state tournament, which was a really cool experience for a young golfer. And then for track, I qualified for the state championships 2 years. My junior year was just for discus. I made finals, but I didn't place or podium. I took 8th place, and podium is 1st through 6th. And then my senior year, I qualified at both shot put and discus. I wasn't even supposed to make it to like the round before state for shot put, so the fact that I qualified for state is pretty cool. Then I made finals. If you know me, I don't really like shot put. It's not fun to me. But discus, I loved. So I also qualified for that my senior year, and I ended up taking 2nd. So I was runner-up twice my senior year in the state.
Any questions for Megan or myself? We're really excited about Megan's future. As much as she's grown and improved the last few months, we're really looking forward to what she's able to do, this weekend and moving on for the rest of the year in conference, and then also into, the years after that. This week she'll have a good test. This last weekend they didn't have big post players, so we had a pretty good advantage in the paint. This weekend they do have a sophomore post, Western does, that is pretty good size, so Megan and Janzi will have a fun time against her, for sure. They like playing against the bigger posts, then they don't get called for as many offensive fouls, so they like to play a little more free, so they should have a fun challenge ahead of them this weekend.
I'll wait for injuries.
Pretty much everybody's back and healthy. Naomi will still be out for kind of we don't really know timeline. It's kind of a week by week situation with her. So, but yeah, otherwise everybody else is back, and we're ready to roll, and our young players are taking advantage of the opportunity that they're getting playing time. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Well, hello and Happy New Year to everybody. I want to echo Jerry's sentiments about our bus driver. we found out how lucky we were with the bus drivers that we had. Our bus driver would take us over the pass between Durango and Alamosa, and Black Hill State's bus driver would not. So they have to go make another trip to Durango just for one game sometime down the road, and we're not going to have to do that. So I'm really happy about that. Okay, so but they did a fantastic job. We did hit some snow in Denver, and took it nice and easy, but got us to our destination. And then, and like I said, as you know, when you get to Colorado and a lot of the destinations we go to, we got to travel over a lot of different passes and stuff like that, which honestly is beautiful, especially when we do it during the day. You get to see some great scenery in great areas. But I'm just happy that we were able to get there and get back and know that we don't have to go back down there for another year. It's kind of nice. So, but our trip was, it was actually a really good trip. We went down there, had to play Fort Lewis at first, who's ranked in the nation. They've got a really good team. They got a lot of good guards. They're very deep in their guard positions. And we came out in the first half, and we were really cold. You go back and watch the film, we were really happy with the shots we got. We did a lot of great things to get an attack in the rim. We didn't finish around the rim real well. We knew they were an athletic team. I thought we probably could have used a shot fake a little bit more to start the game with. And I think that was a factor a little bit around the rim. And then we went 1 for 14 from 3, which is really unusual for us. I mean, right now in conference, we're close to 40% from 3, and we're just a much better shooting team. In the second half, we came out and showed that. And after only scoring, I think it was 34, is that right, Kyle? 20. Or 24, I'm sorry, 24. In the first half, we went out and scored 58 in the second. And just really played a really good second half. Unfortunately, it was just too big a deficit for us. We got it to 9, and then we just didn't get enough stops. But you're kind of splitting hairs at times when you dig that big a hole against a good team on their home floor. So we're going to get a chance to play them at home yet, and I'm excited to do that because I thought we figured out some things we could do against them. And for the most part, offensively, I was really happy with the shots we got. We just got to be more consistent through 2 halves. And then so the next night, after going over the pass to Alamosa, we played a really scrappy Alamosa team. Pretty athletic, a lot of length, and we really came out and shot the ball extremely well. We shot like 58% from 3. It was just almost the opposite start. And built a nice lead in the first half, and then in the second half we were able to take it to almost 20 or 22. And then we warned them. We told them that they're not going to be a team that's just going to lay down for you. They got a lot of pride. They're a scrappy group, and they did. They battled back. They started making some shots. They went through a stretch where they were making some shots. But to our guys' credit, they kept their poise, really did a good job of handling the adversity of a run, and they had a great crowd for playing on New Year's Eve at 5 p.m. They had a nice crowd, and their gym's not real big, so it doesn't take a lot of people to create a lot of noise. And the gym got loud, and there was a lot of energy in there, and our guys just really kept their composure. And we took a timeout, talked about it, went back out, and took that lead back up to 15, and from that point we kind of held on for the rest of the way. And and on the weekend, we ended up scoring 100 and well, I'm gonna do my math here, 171 points, which is a lot of points for us. And we're actually offensively in conference doing extremely well. We're almost averaging 80 points a game. I don't think in my 18 years here we've ever had a team average over 75 and in conference. So offensively, we're really doing some good things. We're getting some great shots. We've got to find a way to probably get stops a little bit better. We've talked about that. And it's not a big stop, but we just got to find a way to get 3 or 4 more stops in a game. And honestly, if we look back at where we're at, we're 4-4 in the league. If we go three stops in every game, 3 more stops, we're probably sitting with about maybe 1 loss in the league. And so that's something defensively, that's what we're challenging our guys with, is that we've just got to continue to get better on the defensive side. Got to continue to keep doing what we're doing offensively, because we're really clicking right now offensively. And hopefully we can bring that defense and match what we're doing offensively and create a good mesh there. And maybe we'll have a little bit easier time nice and not have to sweat some of these out towards the end like we have been there. So, but really happy with what way our guys came back from Christmas. They're a hungry group, and I thought they were in great shape. They did a tremendous job of coming back ready. You can tell they'd had a ball in their hands. Unfortunately, like I said, that first half I think was just an anomaly. We just didn't shoot it well, but come the second half, we started shooting better, and that carried over to the next night. So I think we're in pretty good shape there. And we're looking forward to get down to Western. We got a single game this week. We're going to go down there, play them on a Saturday, and You know, they're a team that has come on some tough times, but at their place, it's just a really dangerous place to play. They play a lot better at home than they have been on the road, and so we're going to go down there. It's going to be a nice test for us to play a team that, you know, probably on paper we probably should beat, but you know, our conference is so darn good and deep this year that every night is going to be a battle. So it's going to be a great challenge for us to go down there. So, any questions about any of our games before I introduce Kyle here?
How do you feel about not being a lone wolf anymore?
I love it. And no, you know what? The lone wolf last year wasn't too bad. I think because, you know, we worked with Joel and stuff, we were really trying to get our conference games on the road where we were Thursday, Saturday. And so that Thursday game was a little bit, I felt like, a little bit of an advantage for us because we were catching teams on a third game in 7 days. So maybe a little bit of advantage there. At home, we had a couple tough ones where we had a double overtime game and then had to turn around and play a team that was basically just waiting on us and stuff. But, you know, overall, you know, I thought we handled that fairly well. You know, the first year we had it, we qualified for the playoffs. And last year, you know, we were right there coming down the stretch. We were right there coming, and I thought, you know, we were going to get in. We just unfortunately let a couple games get away from us with that. But the part I do like about having a travel partner is that I do like having a nice team like Black Hills. We're similar in a lot of things that we do, so we can watch their films and stuff on a Friday night and get ready for that Saturday game because it's such a quick turnaround. And so it is really nice to be able to see their games on Friday from that Friday game because a lot of times in a week's time teams will change a lot of things, some of them, and so it's nice to be able to see what they do in those games. Where when we were Lone Wolf, we didn't necessarily have the luxury of seeing that Friday game because they didn't play on that Friday. Any other questions? That was a really good question by Brad. All right, so I brought with me today, this is Kyle Harris. Kyle is new to our program this year. He was a junior college transfer from Phoenix College. He's originally from Phoenix, Arizona. I won't take all of his thunder here and let him explain a little bit more. We're really excited. I know if you probably look at him, you think that he plays for Charlie on the football team. Okay, looks like a linebacker. But the thing that we were really looking for last year is we were really looking for a guy that could really shoot the basketball. We were getting a lot of shots in the corners. And we felt like we needed a guy that could shoot that ball a little bit better. And so Kyle's definitely that guy. He has definitely shot the ball for us extremely well this year. But like anything, when you go to a new school, there's a transition period. And so his first semester is just that. You know, for him, it's really a big transition because honestly, it's the first time that he's lived away from home. Yeah. Completely. When he was in junior college, he actually lived at home and through COVID and everything. And he actually had a year in COVID where he didn't play. Because he has a brother at home that he wanted to make sure he helped out and had to protect a little bit. So he didn't get out and mingle around too much that year. And so he was able to, he had to take that year off. And then he came back last year and played. But he's a player for us that's really starting to come along. He's starting to understand the system a little bit, especially on the defensive side. Getting a little bit better each week. And as we've come back from Christmas, I think he's had a chance to maybe process it a little bit more. It's nice to have a little break and just kind of decompress a little bit and kind of reflect on what the first semester was about. And so we're really excited to have him. He's going to continue to keep going along. I think you've seen him play. He's a good physical player. He gets some big rebounds for us, and he can definitely knock down the three for us, and we really like that about him. So, you know, other than that, I'll let him kind of talk about himself a little bit here. Want to tell them about just where you're from? I obviously don't know Phoenix, but you know your major and why you chose here.
Well, yeah, like Coach said, I'm from Phoenix, and I'm majoring in science, technology, and society. So I'm not an engineer like everyone else on my team. And one of the big reasons for that is because I'm not quite the mathematician that everyone else is. So yeah, like Coach said, it's been a little bit of a transition period, especially coming from junior college. It's a different game. When you get to the 4-year level, you're dealing with a lot older guys, and in junior college they kind of just throw you out there and you play. And here there's a lot of scheming, there's a lot of, like Coach said, it's a whole new system. So I've just been trying to work every day and get better at learning that, and you know, just try to get better every day in every game. So yeah, like Coach said, I didn't play during COVID, and actually our season was fully canceled, so our conference didn't even have a season. But coming back last year, it was kind of another transition period, so I'm kind of used to having to work my way through the season at getting better, and I think I'm pretty good at doing that. So for me, it's just, like I said, one day at a time, one step at a time, continue to get better.
Any questions for Kyle, Coach?
Not an engineer, so why South Carolina?
Well, one of the big reasons that I chose the school, and I'm glad I'm here, is the locker room is so tight. And on my visit, Coach T he would emphasize that, you know, this locker room is special because all the guys are such good friends, and you don't really see that a lot, especially in basketball. There's a lot of egos a lot of times, and that's just non-existent here. So I'm really glad with my choice. And aside from that, the academics are great. I mean, I'm going to have a great degree when I finish here, so it's just a really good place to be.
I know the answer, but maybe they will. What are you planning on doing with your degree?
Well, I plan on going to grad school. I haven't really narrowed it down to one thing yet, but I either want to get on the law enforcement side or go into psychology and like counseling, that type of thing. I like talking to people and I like helping people by talking to them, so that's one of the things I kind of am interested in.
What have you noticed in RMAC, the altitude at the basketball courts?
Honestly, I think it affected me most when I first came here. Like now that we've been on the road and stuff, I haven't really seen or felt like the altitude was a problem. But I mean, it's hard to say for the team as a whole, but for me, I mean, you just push through it, you know. Like Coach says, it's just mental.
Don't let the trainer go.
Coach T and I had an argument in front of the guys in practice the other day. He was talking about, he said something about the altitude, and I told him that I can't repeat what I said, but in jest, I basically said that, you know, I know that there's a factor, but to me, you know, I played in the RMAC, we've coached in these altitude things, bottom line is, to me, it is a big mental thing. And when people put it on their walls as you walk in and all that stuff, that's what it is. They're just trying to get in your heads and tell you. And you know, we reached our guys. You know, it's not something we control, but at the same time, you know, we play at a fairly decent altitude here. It's not like we're at sea level, so you know, it's not that big a deal. And we're not really running a 5K or an 8K, are we, Coach? So it's not. And we actually get to stop in the middle of our competition. So, you know, there's a lot of breaks and things. And I think for us, I think the biggest thing is just being on the road, period. We can really try to stress our guys the nutrition side, you know, and then also the fact of just hydrating. I think that's the biggest thing. Because when no matter how good you try to eat, there's just so much darn salt and stuff in your foods and things. And, you know, you get dehydrated and stuff. And so we just really enforce the fact that we got to stay away from the pops. We don't really let them have pops. We drink waters when we go to restaurants, things like that. And we just really force them to take that water. And then we try to get a lot of rest, which isn't easy when classes start back up, because I know we have guys that a lot of times are staying up pretty late, still working on projects and schoolwork and things like that. But that's who we are, and we know that, and we don't make excuses for it, because we feel like that's what makes us special, is that kind of work ethic that we develop like that. So. You know, if some people might look at it as a hindrance, we look at it as something that really actually makes us a better team. Anything else? Nothing from you. All right. Any other questions? Well, thank you. We will be home eventually. All right, and we look forward to having a great crowd again. It's been fantastic. Our last crowd, we didn't have any students, and boy, it was just a great turnout. We really appreciated it. Unfortunately, the last game we came out on the short end, but you know, I really like where we're headed. We just got to continue to keep improving each day. And we put ourselves, in the start of the conference, we put ourselves in a great spot. So we just got to continue to keep striving to get better. And hopefully things will work out in the end for us. So appreciate your support. Appreciate it.
One thing I failed to mention when Megan was up here, she helped me out at our golf tournament this fall. And so for a little bit of extra money, she stood on a hole and she can drive the ball for everybody. So if you see her move some people on the basketball court, she she doesn't just hit the golf ball, she hammers the golf ball. And I think maybe outdrove quite a few guys on that hole. Pretty impressed. But anyway, she was a huge help in that, so it's kind of fun to have a dual athlete here, because it's a tough, rigorous curriculum here, and to do two of them, I don't even know how she does that. So, but we will be home the 13th and 14th. Don't forget, GoRockers.com for this weekend on Saturday, and we have a lot of games before then, but I'm just going to put it out there so you guys are aware. The 24th of January, it's a Tuesday, we go up to Black Hill State. So if you guys are looking for something to do on a Tuesday night and want to travel up the road, it would be great to have a nice home crowd up in Spearfish that weekend. But with that being said, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you on the 13th.